Great. Hi, good morning everyone, and welcome to the Green Party 2018 Annual National Meeting here in beautiful Salt Lake City. My name is Michael Feinstein, and I'm a former Green Party mayor and city council member in Santa Monica, California, one of over 1,000 U.S. Green Party members who held elected office in the United States. And the Green Party runs on a platform based on ecology, social justice, grassroots democracy, and nonviolence, a platform that represents the political viewpoints of millions of Americans. And despite the fact that we live in perhaps one of the most countries that have one of the most regressive electoral systems with the single-seat winner-take-all district system funded by corporate donations, nevertheless, the Green Party persists and grows. And this year, we're going to feature over 200 candidates in the United States, and you're going to hear from some of them today. It's very exciting. We're going to start off with hearing from a candidate from the great state of Wisconsin, Erin Camacho, who is running in State Senate District 31. Welcome, Erin.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you all for being here today. As you heard, my name is Erin E. Camacho. I'm from the state of Wisconsin, and I'm running for State Senate in the District of 31. If you don't know where that's at, it's on the western side of Wisconsin, right along the Mississippi River. It's one of the largest districts in our state. However, we are struggling economically, and the reason why I'm running, right, is because we need to be seeking and striving for an equitable Wisconsin. And my campaign is running with a strategy that we need to maintain mutual respect and understanding to have a unified Wisconsin, no matter what party you belong to. Because when we reach office, we represent all of our constituents within our districts, and that's what we need to stand for. So the first thing that I really advocate for is our access to government. We need to get money out of politics. We shouldn't have hundreds of thousands of dollars put into campaigns by corporate donations that aren't actually speaking for the people, right? We also need to have American Indian rights adhered to. In the state of Wisconsin, there are 11 federally recognized tribes, and when we recognize their rights, our rights are protected. We also need to look at Wisconsin. Wisconsin has been known for our education, but in the last decade, we've fallen off the map, right? We have a current governor who says he's the governor of education, but he's done anything but promote education. We have a voucher system that's taking tax dollars from our public schools, and it's being funneled into private schools. We need to look at this. Is it equitable? Are all our schools getting the appropriate amount of technology and access to current knowledge? And right now, that's not the status quo. We need to make sure our rural communities, our communities of lower socioeconomic needs are getting the same opportunities as our communities who are benefiting from the economy in a more, in a bigger way. So when we look at education, what's connected to that is an environment. If we aren't protecting our environment, our children are not going to thrive. There is no planet B, and we need to make sure that when we look at our environment, we're looking at it holistically. It's not just about our DNR. It's not just about recycling. It's about what businesses we allow in Wisconsin and what resources we allow those businesses to consume. Then we also need to look at healthcare. Healthcare is a human right. In Wisconsin, we have veterans that are suffering, right? We have elderly that cannot access healthcare. There's no transportation for them, and they can't get Meals on Wheels. We need to make sure that no one is left out of the system. No one is losing their homes because they're trying to seek help. We also need to look at our infrastructure. Our infrastructure was also something Wisconsin was known for, but our roads are crumbling. We're having our budget for infrastructure redirected to the Foxconn corporations, to Enbridge, to lure people in because we're open for business. And we also need to make sure that we have a livable wage. Again, I'm running for Wisconsin State Senate for a united Wisconsin with mutual respect and understanding. Thank you.
Thank you, Erin. Excellent. Staying in the Midwest, our next two candidates are going to be coming from the great state of Ohio and running for statewide office. And one of the things I just want to mention is that why do Greens run for statewide office? It's a chance for every voter in a state to have a chance to vote for Greens and for every voter in the state to be exposed to the Green Party platform. Running for governor in the great state of Ohio is Constance Goodell Newton. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Constance Goodell Newton, and I'm running for governor of Ohio. And I'm running for governor to give the people of Ohio a choice and a voice in our democracy. For so long, the two-party system and the party machine gerrymandering has really guaranteed that party leaders will have the say in who's going to be elected and not the people. We want to bring the democracy back to the people. I'm also running for universal health care in Ohio, to end fracking in Ohio. We want an immediate ban and moratorium on fracking and injection wells, and to end the prison industrial complex in Ohio. Ohioans are suffering right now because of our policies, because corporate interests have taken over, and politicians are bending to those corporate interests. So we see mass incarceration, drug addiction treated as a criminal issue. Drug addiction needs to be treated as a healthcare issue. I'm also running because we need to maintain our ballot access for the Green Party in Ohio, and we hope to do this to continue to give Ohioans a choice and a voice in our system, in our voting system. And so we need to get 3% in this election for governor to maintain our ballot access so that we can continue running candidates up and down the ticket. And I would also just like to point out that we can win this election with 34% of the vote. So it's absolutely doable, and we want to give voters that choice for someone to actually represent them. As we've been campaigning, we've been focusing on urban and rural issues and going out all over Ohio to small and medium-sized towns in Canton, Ohio. People are hungry for our message and for what we have to offer. Our biggest challenge, I think, is getting the word out, because so many people don't even know that the Green Party exists. And a lot of that is a problem with the media. So, we're constantly shut out of the media. We're trying to run a professional campaign in how we engage with the media and make sure that people hear our voice. Once people find out about the Green Party and what we have to offer, our 10 key values, they're really excited. They're ready. They've been waiting for this. They've been waiting for somebody who's actually going to represent them in our system. And we're here to represent all Ohioans. We're here to avoid the political polarization that we've seen thus far in politics. Again, my name is Constance Goodell Newton, and I'm running for governor of Ohio to give the people a voice and a choice in our democracy. Thank you.
Thank you, Constance. And as people know, most places around the country, the governor and lieutenant governor run as a team. That's also the case in Ohio. And the lieutenant governor, Dr. Brett Joseph of the Green Party.
Thank you. Hello, as mentioned, my name is Brett Joseph, and I'm running for the 2018 Green Party candidate for Lieutenant Governor in Ohio. Today, Ohioans face many profound challenges: stagnant wages, failing schools, high incarceration rates, strained local budgets, blighted neighborhoods, and exposure to environmental toxins. The experiment of global capitalist expansion has destroyed much of Ohio's middle class, uprooted whole communities, and undermined social mobility. Our state has become a ground zero for opioid deaths, and numerous chronic illnesses are on the rise. For too many Ohioans, the dream of a bright future has been reduced to a struggle for basic survival. And now, Ohio's working people face the dubious prospect of labor displacing automation within our manufacturing, retail, financial, administrative, and transportation sectors. We must wake up. Immigration is not a security threat. Neither is fake news nor the deep state. Rather, the real threat to our future is hardwired into this weightless, brand-driven, extractive economy which has placed humanity itself on the chopping block, even as it continues to churn out profits for the 1% with machine-like efficiency. And that is why I'm running. Our people-driven campaign is not a sales pitch, it is a call to action, a call to disrupt the two-party status quo and build a new, enduring coalition that will enable us to effect a rapid transition in three key areas: energy, agriculture, and employment. So with respect to energy, we will transition away from unregulated and irresponsible fracking, high-pressure pipelines, and toxic injection wells towards an advanced energy economy powered by 100% renewable sources by the year 2030. We will transition away from industrial-scale agriculture towards a more diversified and localized farm and food system that restores our precious soils and promotes humane treatment of animals and sustains rural communities and urban communities alike while yielding high-nutrition food without toxic inputs that threaten our rivers and lakes. And finally, with regard to our transition of Ohio's workforce, we will move away from the part-time, temporary, and poverty wage jobs with limited or no benefits towards worker-owned and community-based enterprises sustained by a universal basic income, single-payer health care, tuition-free college, diversified public transit, and a tax and regulatory framework that favors Main Street over Wall Street. As citizen candidates committed to speaking truth to power, Constance and I know that freedom can never be attained with brand appeal nor voyeuristic entertainment value of a reality TV spectacle. We know the stakes are high and that the tilt and slide towards fascism has begun, but we need not fear these distractions and falsehoods, not if we are vigilant. Our campaign is about we the people, and we are part of the green wave that will turn the tide. We the people who remember that the courageous struggle for emancipation is our common American legacy. We the people who know that this legacy continues as we fight to protect our water, our air, our food, land, schools, and homes. We the people who today stand in solidarity and resolve that the dream of an inclusive and vibrant democracy will not die in this generation. So with the help of all of you, our allies and supporters, and our all-volunteer team, we the people will make it happen in Ohio in 2018. Thank you.
Thank you. Many people often ask, what is the Green Party's electoral strategy? They're aware of our presidential candidates, but they're often not as aware of candidates that we run down ticket. We run candidates for statewide office, like we've heard already, in part to be able to present our ideas to everybody in the state, give everybody a chance to vote green. And when we run for state legislature and Congress, we often get percentages of the vote that in a European democracy, for example, that has elections by proportional representation, we would be winning seats in state and federal office. So we also push electoral reforms like moving from the single seat winner-take-all district system to multi-seat districts with proportional representation. At the same time, unlike a lot of the other smaller parties in the history of the United States, we have a very strong focus on running for local, municipal, and county office, where you're in a community, you can run in your reputation, you're not as restricted by the big money of higher offices, and you have a chance to win. And the reality is in the United States, Greens have won about 1,000 local, county, and municipal races, and we have a winning percentage of about 35 to 40% of all Greens who run in those races. This gives us a chance to show that we both have good ideas and can govern. One of our local candidates present today is Brendan Phillips. He's here from the great state of Utah, and he's running for County Commissioner of Tooele County. Welcome, Brendan.
Thanks, Mike. Great intro. Hi, everybody. So my name is Brendan Phillips, and I'm running for Tooele County Commission, Seat A. I'm a stay-at-home dad of 2 young boys. I'm also a lifelong DJ, vinyl collector, and event promoter. I bought my first home in Tooele County about 3 years ago after we had our second child, Hunter. It was our first purchase of a house. We moved out there because the housing was cheap, and it was a family-oriented community with lots of open space and parks. When I moved to Tooele, I learned a lot about the history of Tooele County and the industrial exploitation that takes place there. Tooele County is mostly known for Dugway, which is where we did all of our weapons testing, our nuclear weapons testing, our chemical weapons testing during the World War II era. We also incinerated all of our chemical weapons in the same county. We do open-air burning in this county. There's numerous landfills. The county's rampant with industrial exploitation. And I hope to change that. When I had my second child, my perspective on life really changed. And it inspired me to be more involved in my community, especially after purchasing a home and knowing that my kids were going to grow up in this community and they might raise their kids in that community. So I made a commitment to do my part to change the community that I lived in. So I decided to run for county commission, the most local position I can possibly run for where I live. And I'm really excited for the opportunity to address the concerns of the community that I live in. It's a highly conservative district, but when I've talked to voters, we really actually seem to connect very well, because we're not talking about the divisive issues that divide the major parties. We're talking about local issues that affect our families directly the same way. That's our schools, it's our roads, it's the air we breathe. These issues affect everybody the same way. We largely feel the same way about how we want to resolve those issues. And so, it's just the same as I do. So I've had a lot of luck connecting with voters in my county. And I'm really looking forward to hopefully getting elected. I think I have a real shot. There is a Republican candidate, a Libertarian candidate, and a Constitution Party candidate. There's no Democrat. I'm the only candidate that can offer any sort of perspective on this side of the aisle. And hopefully those three can duke it out and split the vote, and I'll slip in and win the race. So thank you.
So our candidates come from all over the country, and our next candidate is going to be coming from the Show Me state of Missouri. And in terms of showing me something, so many voters want to be shown an alternative to the Democrats and Republicans. And our next candidate is going to be Molly Dyer, who's running for the Missouri House. And for folks who run for state legislature, so many of the laws that are passed in the state legislature then determine what cities can do, what counties can do. So it's a very important office. So let's welcome Molly Dyer.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to say how excited I am to be here at the Green Party National Convention with Greens from around the country. It's pretty exciting. I'm Molly Dyer. I live in Joplin, Missouri. I am a Missouri Green Party state endorsed candidate for the House of Representatives in District 162. For the last 20 years, Republicans have run unopposed and uncontested in Southwest Missouri, and the time for uncontested elections has come to an end. This is in part the reason why I chose to run for office. The other being that during my 13 years as a CNA and healthcare professional, I've witnessed firsthand the failures of our current healthcare system, and I know that we can do better for all people. The platform I'm running on is concise and to the point. I support healthcare for all, sensible gun laws, public funded higher education, reproductive rights for women, decriminalization and legalization of marijuana, a living wage and protection for workers, police accountability and community police boards, and to get corporate money out of politics. I'm not a politician, and I have no corporate donors, but that means that I won't owe anybody any favors. November 7th, a vote for me on November 7th is a vote for the people. Again, my name is Molly Dyer, and I'm running for the Missouri House of Representatives in District 162.
Thank you, Molly. If you like what you heard there, you might wonder, why don't we hear more about candidates like this? The Green Party believes that the public airwaves should be used for public benefit, and all candidates that are on the ballot should be featured on our public airwaves. Right now we have a pay-to-play system where only candidates who can pay for expensive mailers, buy TV ads, are heard. And yet the kind of perspective that we heard from Molly is something that would resonate with millions of voters both in Missouri and in the United States. So that's something to remember. And for those of you who don't remember this, it was actually the Clinton-Gore administration in 1996 in the Telecom Act that gave away over $70 billion in public airwaves without insisting that we have the right for those to be used to empower our voters. So the next folks we're going to hear are from the Badger State, again, from Wisconsin. We also there have a governor, lieutenant governor team, and we're excited to have them with us here. And our candidate for governor in Wisconsin is Michael White. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm Michael White. I am running for governor of the state of Wisconsin as a Green. If you haven't noticed, I'm an old white guy, but I'm running as a Green. I'm retired military. I'm a retired Air Force colonel. I took an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. That does not include torturing prisoners. I'm here to stand up against oppression, against torture, against a military-industrial complex that takes over the world for our convenience. I am also a practicing physician. I took an oath to relieve suffering, not merely suffering of the rich. It's time to take our health care back from the drug companies. I have watched generic prices for the patient's medicines that I prescribe jump 20-fold in 4 months. My patients are in tears on a regular basis because they can't afford simple, generic medicines. I'm here to stand up for health care for all that is affordable, that is universal, that reaches the people that need it, not just the people that pay for it. I am also a gun owner, and I support the Second Amendment, but I will tell you that does not include assault weapons or automatic weapons or the right to take weapons into our schools and kill people. We need to stop gun deaths. We need reasonable gun control. There is no planet B. We are running out of time to save our ecology, our water, our children's future. I want to quote Jill Stein, all of my heroes fight for the Republic against the empire. It's time to get corporate money out of politics, get the power out of the company's hands and in the people's hands. We can be a bystander or we can stand up. I prefer to be an upstander, and that's why I'm running for the governor of the state of Wisconsin. My name is Michael White. Please support me. Thank you.
Now, Michael there had some really good positions and some great turns of phrases, and those kind of turns of phrases, if they're heard by everybody in a state, they kind of stick with you. You watch a candidate debate, and there's a few moments that stay with you afterwards, and everybody talks at the water cooler. Well, one of the reasons that we don't hear from folks like Michael is that the debates are usually controlled by the Democrats and Republicans in most states. They're certainly controlled by them at the federal level, and the Green Party believes that all qualified candidates have the right to be and should be and belong in the public debate, so all the voters have a chance to make their own choice for themselves. The other half of our great kid in the Badger State,
Thank you for having me. My name is Tiffany Anderson, and I'm running for the governor of Wisconsin. I'm running because we need a government to to the people and not for corporations. Our infrastructure is crumbling, our roads are broken, and our water is poisoned with lead. Academic programs are being cut from our public universities, and we're increasing our public school class sizes and cutting public employees' salaries and benefits. We're doing all this while our president and the current administration and state officials are trying to fix it by giving huge subsidies to giant foreign corporations and taking away food assistance from the most unfortunate among us. As Lieutenant Governor, I will work for the people. I will put public infrastructure over corporate subsidies. I will work to fully fund education and give our teachers and public employees the support they deserve. I will work to reform our prison system and drug laws, cutting our prison populations. I will work to increase our minimum wage to a livable wage of at least $15 an hour. Wisconsin used to lead the nation in infrastructure, education, and many progressive programs, but has fallen to the bottom of the list over the last several years. I will work to rebuild our states to what it once was and what it can be again. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Thank you. And in order to introduce our last candidate, who is also here from the great host state for us of Utah, there's a great tradition in this country of the option to have a write-in candidate, because sometimes issues develop over the course of a campaign after candidates have filed, and if there's no opportunity for new candidates to enter the race and respond to those issues, then the choices for voters are limited. So whereas the other folks that we had here had decided to run a little earlier on and were on the ballot, there's also the option for write-in, and we have a write-in candidate here in Utah. He's Adam Wyman, and he is a candidate for Salt Lake County Council at large, number 3.